weekend into when humi amewo. First no be kwa washing our tete. Afraid your mobile mukita suitcase. Over a Ganyan Nami and yes, Spinter say. My in your spinters. Why in your spinters? Ganyan Nami and spinters. Really?
We love Friday nights. Sports Panorama. Benjamin and Ketia here. Show proudly brought to us by Betway. Now Betway is stepping it up to give their fans even more back with Betway rewards. Whenever you bet on sports or casino, you will earn points that can be converted into cash. It's that easy. The best part is that you can convert whenever you want, and you can withdraw the funds or use them to place new bets. No strings attached. So start enjoying a whole new way to get rewarded with Betway, only on betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. It's been a busy week. Oh boy. The World Athletics Championships in Tokyo have raised certain people and put them on a pedestal, while others have fallen miserably short. We'll be getting into it. We'll be trying to find out exactly what went wrong with the likes of Benjamin Azamati, Rashid Saminu. He was Ghana's biggest prospect at this particular games. He fell short as well. Ibrahim Fusaini also had his moments, but Rose Yeboah is the MVP so far. She's done amazing, and she's in the finals. We're getting some feedback about some sound challenges. We'll rectify that as soon as we can, so please bear with us. Shout outs to our YouTube community. We appreciate you guys a lot. Bill Ebo Otabil, Eric Asare, Rama Leo, Ash Kojo Deuces, Cynthia Coleman, Omar the Poet. Yeah, Charlie, big shout out to all of you guys. We are trying to sort out the sound as soon as we can. We'll talk about some Champions League as well. Marcus Rashford found his scoring boots again. Oh, Charlie. And it looks like he's beginning to enjoy his football in Catalonia. We'll talk about that. We'll also get into some local football or local continental football because Bibiani Gold Stars and also Asante Kotoko are in action. JS Kabiele in action, and then we can also talk about Quirre United, Nigerian side Quirre United. We'll get into that, and then I'll tell you about the big games in the PL. It's a huge week in the English Premier League. There's a Merseyside derby at Anfield between Liverpool and Everton. We have a game between Man United and Chelsea at Old Trafford. And then, of course, there's Arsenal versus Manchester City on Sunday. Too much action. Numo!
Bossu.
Oh, Charlie.
Okay, in Shoboy.
Oh, Charlie. Imbesh.
Oh,
Charlie.
No more than one like a.
No, I was observing him from afar. Shiny brother too.
In Lacabo.
Yeah, juggling all the action. Numo.
Charlie.
Rashford is scoring goals. Bibiani Gold Stars and Kotoko have an assignment.
No more.
United welcome Chelsea to Old Trafford. Arsenal welcome City to the Emirates.
Then there's the new
Merseyside derby at Anfield.
As for this week, dear.
No more. You need to commit the activities.
The games are delicious.
Oh, Charlie, if I commit to Rose Yeboah too.
Rose Yeboah, please.
Charlie. As for that little girl, I think the program should be dedicated to her.
We should dedicate it to
the
her.
program to her.
You need to commit them into the hands of the Lord.
All those who are going to be jumping with her.
You mean jumping?
They are jumping. Whether it's high jump. She's jumping the high jump.
Yeah, she's jumping.
Those from the other country make the good Lord. Make Yeboah Zebao. Bring down their jump. Instead of jumping above, they should be jumping below the bar.
You mean they should dive under the bar?
Below the bar, so that Rose would jump above the bar and bring us some medal.
Oh my goodness.
We're in need of medals.
Charlie, this prayer topic.
Yeboah Zebao one chabo gaming.
Oh, Zebao.
So I share when the program one dedicate hand rules.
Dedication.
A coach said you over Belma me jomomi na me na be sake enye tu ne take ba go there abagana
Nakai.
wo ko down one double shike heno ka wo hye wo here ya edumo no bodan cho no Yeboah Zebao manche o se ko here mo ko be ko gbolo da no fo gbe ami no ni sake ba no ba ko wie mo ko nya wie ko wo Rose wale nenye dofo ya wo Kotoko ke Bibiani Gold Stars Yeboah me wa shi woni efe mmobo ka abale club football Ghana woni efe mmobo
Wa de nche
woni efe mmobo wa ni nonu mi na share beni men komen gbe ameda ka wo football en ya hie Yeboah ene kometole Jomo Kotoko Jomo ame no job Bibiani Gold Stars I share group group stage upon how she was points points no one year got a man come no me come near 4 slot what to wepe Dakate Acheko
Nakai
eno kometele Bibiani Gold Stars Kotoko nya ni bula ba anye
bule
no wa denche awonye wale ni bula ni sa enye banye ni kwa sagana football no ya wo hia
Charlie
chiro no mi na nyele enawa Chelsea kemini Jeremy enjoy nketia Jeremy enjoy amena wa
Chelsea can bring the Barcelona high line.
No.
But they couldn't deal with the Bayern high line. Couldn't deal with Bayern.
Charlie, Bayern no playing it.
Lami Yamamba.
Bayern no playing it. Bayern no play anything.
Ayoko.
Olumishi, I'm a smoothness level. Sunday, I'm a small egg I'm a smoothness level. Your Trafford. One man, never. By the Kenya, you world champions. Never to world champions football. No, you want Zebao. Ni eke him the call when catch bone. Ni le nye jela mi fe ye di. Many what that no wapin. You know wapin ko. Jomo Arsenal be here. No Joe Everton. Everton be as I can draw me. League na share. Moko Joe for nyanyo.
Charlie. Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Dickinson.
Oh, Charlie.
Dickinson Stadium.
Hey, behave yourself there. Don't place emphasis on the name.
No, but that's the name. Hey, what? Dickinson Stadium. Thank you. That's where the Messi sat down. First in history. Oba wo, Everton wo, Oba kagbo amelega triye yo wa zeba ba. Zeba de ke ba taya ene mo obi oye.
Amen. Show proudly brought to us by Betway. The Rabbi Coach Christopher Nimley, aka Niaba, aka Dickinson. Yeah, he has added it to the names. Banana Big Quarter is in the house. And then, of course, Shiny Brother 1. Why is Shiny Brother 2?
You join us soon, don't worry.
Shiny Brother 2, better behave yourself over there and join us here. Anyway, let's start off with some local football because there are big games happening this weekend. So Saturday, it's Bibiani Gold Stars, reigning champions of the Ghana Premier League, taking on JS Kabylie. And they are an Algerian side. I'll give you a lot of info about them in a bit, but the text and WhatsApp lines are active. 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. You can also get to me on YouTube. Just drop your comments in the section and then I will come back and read it. Drop us a shout from wherever you are watching us from as well. If you are watching us from inside here, Ghana, Accra, up north, Ashanti region, Western region, wherever it is, drop us a shout. If you are watching somewhere on the continent in Africa, drop us a shout. Even if you are watching in Alaska, drop us a shout. I'll be too happy to read that out for you. Let's get into the CAF Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League. Let's start off on that Bibiani Gold Stars note. Now, their opponents are incredibly experienced coming into this particular competition. Now, if you look at their competition history, they are featuring in their 18th CAF Champions League campaign. They are two-time winners of the competition and they boast 30 seasons of continental football experience underlying their pedigree. Let me start to you on this note, Gabi. Frimpong Manso is the man doing the business for Bibiani Gold Stars. He will be directing affairs on the day. First thing that strikes me is that they say that they've lost the home advantage because ideally Bibiani is where they would have wanted to play this game. They are in Accra to play the game, and so they'll have to adapt to not having their home fans. What kind of game are you expecting? And can they walk away with anything because they are hugely underdogs in this game?
Charlie, you see, JS Kabylie, right?
Yep.
Did you see how they arrived at the airport? Did you see?
No.
They came with pillows, so every player had one pillow.
Hey, Charlie, what's going on there?
No, we don't want any excuses. The mosquitoes will come bite to eat it. Charlie, we mean business, oh.
No, but
That's
because they've been doing those things to us. When they are coming, they prep. They
yes,
know how it
that's
is.
the point I'm about to make. But I mean, I think you've highlighted the challenge ahead for Gold Stars. The last time when I checked the stats or their record, they won the CAF Champions League in 1990. Gold Stars first time to partake in the CAF Champions League, they have to deal with JS Kabylie, and I don't envy Stephen Frimpong Manso at all. I don't, as a head coach, to guide this crop of players to face these Algerians. And whoever did that draw has done Gold Stars a great disservice. But I mean, the draw is the draw. You have to deal with what's in front of you. I've been paying particular attention to a few things that have been popping up from Gold Stars. Look, that talk about if we were playing at the dance park, it would have served us some good against Kabylie is neither here nor there. It won't happen. Even if they take them to Babaya Sports Stadium, it won't happen. If they play at the Accra Sports Stadium, it won't happen. And you see, this is not like to play to have my analysis all doomed for Bibiani Gold Stars, but we are talking about doing the tangibles, and that's what Kabylie have done. They've been there. They are top side to play with. Kabylie is not supposed to be in this position now. they are supposed to be waiting for the teams who will pass through the prelims second round and meet them in the group stage. But I think they had to go through a bit of a downhill when it comes to that phase in the last couple of seasons. That's why they are facing Gold Stars. But Gold Stars would have to look at that team and say, look, clear favorite, huge favorite. In terms of talents, they have it more than us. I don't think that any player in that squad that will be facing Algerians have ever played in a CAF assignment. Maybe you want to make an excuse for Vincent Atinga, who's played at the highest level. But even with Hasselhoff, where did he take that team to? Frimpong Manso himself as a player played at the highest level with Kotoko. He's got an assistant in Gordon Ablode, who's also played in the African terrain for a while. But as a coach, the tech team on the part of Gold Stars have not been at this stage before. All right, one will make an excuse for what Dreams FC did in the CAF Confederations Cup. But if you look at Dreams FC's run in the CAF Confed Cup, the teams they had to play before they qualify for the group stages, where, Ben, I think you and I know that they were in table teams. They were not top teams.
Dreams FC will not agree with you. Aminu Sado will not be happy with you.
Well, you can decide not to agree with me, but let's ask ourselves this question. If Dreams FC played Zamalek in the prelims round, I don't think they would have gone past
fair point.
Yeah, so look, Gold Stars for them.
This is as difficult a preliminary encounter as you can get.
It's the biggest test ever. Look, this tie gives me what happened to Hearts of Oak when they beat Wydad here at the Accra Sports Stadium by 2-1, and then they went to Morocco and they got annihilated by 6 goals. I think it would pop up again. But what I want to say is that the first tie is very crucial. The home tie can go in 2 ways. When I say in 2 ways, the first way could be that Gold Stars could start on a very good note, get maybe a 3-goal lead against JS Kabylie, all right? And then they go to Algeria, then they say, okay, let's park the bus and allow Kabylie to attack us. In as much as they want to get a very good result at the Accra Sports Stadium also, they would be jittery. Because I think the nerves will set in, the occasion will get to them. Kabylie have got the experience, and then Kabylie punishes you. Then it complicates the second tie, and then everything is just doomed for you. So for me, if you ask me, I think that approach at the Accra Sports Stadium, I don't even know the number of spectators that will turn up. What I'm picking up is that it's free gate, but if you want to go to the VIP section, you can pay 50 cedis.
So I have the rates here.
Yes, maybe
So
you can
they
confirm
say-
that for me.
No, so they say that
You're paying something?
Popular stand is free.
Okay.
Popular stand is definitely free. VVIP is 100 cedis, VIP upper 50, and then VIP lower 30.
Well, I'm not too sure of the number of spectators Gold Stars would be able to command.
The VIP sections, I think, will be made up of just dignitaries and football people. Of like a certain
So that's a huge disadvantage. And then playing from Bibiani, but I still maintain that point I made early on that if they were playing at the dance park, it's not like they are going to go past them. On the part of Kabylie, they have stuck with their coach for a number of years now. There's that consistency. They know how to navigate through this prelims, and they would want to get into the money stage. Look, if Gold Stars are able to go, it's big for us as a nation. Because the last team to have gone through or to have hoisted the flag of Ghana very high was Dreams FC, but it was in the CAF Confederations Cup, and that's where Kotoko is. So for Gold Stars, I don't envy them at all. I just want to say I wish them the best. We'll just be keeping tabs on whatever they'll be doing.
If they progress, them the best,
if they progress, if they go past Kabylie, we clap for them. If they don't go, they should try again next time. And you see, the thing with these Ghanaian clubs is that when they play in the CAF assignment, when you have their players performing, maybe they perform in this stage, they are unable to keep them to say that, okay, we kept this crop of squad, and so this crop of squad have built some sort of experience that we can go with them again. But it will shock you that Gold Stars will go into that tie against Kabylie, and more of it will be like an auditioning form for some of their players. They will leave, and then the next time they are able to, that's if they are able to clinch the title, they would have to deal with a new set of players again. And then we are back here talking about how inexperienced they are. And that's what 2 steps taken forward, 3 backwards. That's not how we want to do things in this country. So, like I said, we just wish them all the best. We'll be keeping tabs on that game at the Accra Sports Stadium Saturday, and Kotoko are playing on Sunday. Yeah, so let's see what they'll do. Yeah.
Let me get Abeku's thoughts on Kotoko versus Quirre United. Now, Quirre United also, they are from Nigeria. They won Nigeria's version of the Confed Cup, as in what is equivalent to our Confed Cup. They call theirs the I think the Federation Cup. I think that's what they call it. Karim Zito obviously was at Dreams FC when they made their impressive run in the CAF Confed Cup last time around. So at least they have some experience on the bench. Now, a few very interesting quotes here. Now, if so Karim Zito, first of all, he says, we are working on our attitude and approach. At home, we have to overcome them with a lot of goals to make it easier when we go to Nigeria. We won't underrate anybody in this competition. I'm optimistic about a win on Sunday, inshallah. And then you have Quirre United, winners of the Nigerian Federation Cup last season, like I said. This is their 3rd appearance in the Confed Cup. Their best run came in 2007 when they reached the group stage. So they themselves, they are not really good in this competition. Their coach is called Tunde Sani. Yeah, he says that he believes they can rise to the occasion. They played a recent game against Warri Wolves. He says that Kotoko cannot be better than Warri Wolves. So they know they are coming to tie a few goals and put on top of our head when they come here.
These are semantics from Quirre.
You think they are mind games?
Yeah, I've listened to some Nigerian journalists speak in relation to the comparisons with the Ghanaian Premier League and the Nigerian Premier League, and that's by extension talking about CAF interclub competitions and our performances in there. Quirre is of no level, when you put them to Kumasi Asante Kotoko in any comparison. Oh, the records. You can go there. You can go there.
I get what you mean by Quirre not having too much pedigree, but Kotoko have struggled against Nwadibu and
I'll come there.
The teams Kotoko have struggled against.
And I'll come there. Look, and Quirre themselves are aware. And I say they are semantics from the coach because he knows the pedigree of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And for Kotoko, when they are playing at the Accra Sports Stadium, it just looks, it has a resemblance with the Baba Yara Sports Stadium for them as a home venue, especially in
Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
They've been complaining. They didn't want this. They didn't want to do this.
They didn't want to do this. Because they are aware of the kind of form they are in. And the Gaka Top 4 and the President's Cup and all of these off-season competitions they had have given them a fair idea, especially the coach Karim Abdul Zito, a fair idea about the squad he's having. He is well aware that this squad does not resemble the squad he had at Dreams FC, because at Dreams he had, even though Dreams were doing that trade of player transfer and what have you, they do not have same resemblance, because for Kotoko, it was a new setup altogether. There's a coach who had to call Dr. Prospernatogu, and tell him that, look, they're getting you out of the job. I'm the one coming. I have massive respect for you. And I have a few that with the current squad you have, some would have to exit because of their behavioral. I was the guy who told you about Kotoko's exploit at, what's the name of that bar? Kiss and Kiss. On the same person who told you that. And then that thing came to fruition, nearly two years into scene, where the players themselves, a player sat on, radio and mentioned that some of the players even go to the extent of doing shisha and what have you. So Karim Zito knew the exploits of these players and got rid of these guys who would obstruct the squad. And started introducing. Kotoko is the team that does a lot of signings, when these periods open for.
Which I don't agree with, but that's fine.
No,
Sell 20 players, buy 15.
I don't agree, because again it comes to their transfer policy and the kind of players the club attracts. If you always want to go for any player who shines a little and do not check the behavioral or the mannerisms of that player, character-wise, of that player down there before you introduce him into a big club like Kotoko, there's demand in that club. And I get back on track and say, Karim Zito knows the kind of player he's brought to Kotoko now, and he knows the level in terms of development I want to say in terms of getting form in the season. He knows where this current squad is. But for Quirre and where they are now, Kotoko's level in terms of where they've gotten to in trying to get their form this season is far better than that of Quirre.
Okay.
And you compare BBN Gold Stars and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. I think Kotoko have the least in terms of strength in the prelims teams, weighing teams, in comparison to BBN Gold Stars. So I tip Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Look,
to win their game.
Of course. I can go on and mention player to performance, but that'll be jittery for a second because the coach himself admits that they've not gotten to the standard, and he says they are still in preseason. You hear coaches saying that in match day 1, match day 2, that's normal. But the CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, it comes to you at times where you are not prepared. So the preseasonal games they had is that opportunity for Kotoko to get into this phase and prove to Quirre that, look, the Ghanaian Premier League, the Nigerians believe, and I was on that point, I said, the Nigerians believe that competitively, the Ghana Premier League is by far, very competitive in comparison to the Nigerian League. What the Nigerian League, have is a bit of money injection and that premium of, that exposure, that bit of, the cameras that comes close to getting into the world. I tip Kotoko to win this because of Karim Zito's exploits with Dreams FC, getting to that latter stage of the same competition where he plays in now.
Coach, I want you to marry the two: BBN Gold Stars against Kabiele, and then we have Kotoko Quirre United. What are their chances? What should they do? What shouldn't they do?
It is very true that you look at the two teams differently, but our football and the standard required to completely do well at this level, we are not there yet. Kotoko and BBN Gold Stars may navigate this first hurdle.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you look at Kotoko, for example, if they were to win, look at the team they are going to be playing against in the next round. It's a Herculean task. The football we are playing in this country, truth be told, the standard is very, very bad. It's extremely below par. Look, Gabi said something, and I think that is the reason why our teams will struggle and will continue to struggle. I remember in the year 2000, in the year 1999, before Hasselhoff came and won the Champions League in 2000, that Hasselhoff team was a team that had tried in 97, 98, 99. The same crop of players.
Yep.
Occasionally, one player would be added. I remember that was Ishmaelado's breakthrough season.
And I called the team.
Look, I remember very well. In 99, Hasselhoff overly reliant on Osmanu Amadou. Hasselhoff met Raja Casablanca.
Yep.
That game was played under floorlight. That was when Hasselhoff had Emmanuel Sekufo, Ishmael, and those. Look, that was a solid team. Joe Familia, that team of Hasselhoff was without Ishmaelado. And Hasselhoff's power up front was Osman Amadou and Joe Familia. Hasselhoff needed just one goal. It rained. I remember my experience. I was under the rain that day at the Osu stand. I was so much desperate. I needed to see my Hasselhoff win the champion. And that was the year I thought we'd win it. But that game against Casablanca told me that Hasselhoff was very close to winning the Champions League. And truth be told, after that season, Joe Familia left. When he left, then whoever promoted Ishmaelado from Aroras into the Hasselhoff first team. The following season, Hasselhoff went all the way and they won the league. They won the Champions League. They won the Super Cup. The point I'm making is that that was the time that we could keep our players in our league for a certain period of time. 4 years down the lane, Hasselhoff and Kotoko played in the finals of another continental Virgin Cup. You may kiss the cup. They don't like to hear, but that is the fact of the matter. The Virgin Cup, you may kiss the cup. Go to Kotoko. The season before, their hearts had been broken in that same competition by WAC of Morocco. Under Herbert Adu, you remember?
Yep.
Nane Hindria and Co. So when Hasselhoff and Kotoko now went into the next season, Hasselhoff and Kotoko played in the final. Then our football was excellent. After that period, we kept retrogressing and retrogressing and retrogressing. Whilst the rest of Africa are competitive, we're progressing, progressing, and we kept getting better and better and better.
True.
We've lost our 4 slots. We have only 2. I look at this Kotoko team, I look at the BBNA team. I don't think the current quality of players they've got, per what I have seen on the continent of Africa, I don't see them both even getting to the group stage. I don't see it happening.
I agree.
You may have Karim Zito, you may have one of the experienced coaches.
I think the two of them are in for very stern.
Yes,
like this very first preliminary game
is very, very tough. It comes down to the protagonist, and at this level, you see, I told somebody, I said the same. I think it was you on Scorecard.
Yeah.
I said the same thing about the women's. You see, we keep changing. Not that we keep changing, because our league is that bad and it is not competitive.
Yeah.
Today somebody wins it, another person wins it next season. We keep changing our rep on the continent. Agreed? And that would not foster competitiveness and proper competition. Because you need the experience to get better and better and better and better. Our teams last season are very different from our team this season. Agreed?
Yeah.
The season before, the same thing. The season before. Everything before.
Don't do this.
I'm telling you.
Don't do this.
The season before different.
Don't do this.
Before different. The season before.
Kotoko play one round of a league, and then they will release 15 players and bring 20 players.
How do you go and compete?
When the season starts, then they will bring another 20 players.
It's bad.
How
can
can
you
a
do
team
this?
That is what before.
The echo before the bear 4 down on you. Before 3 or okay.
Before before that. So you see, that is the point. And you see, the people running the football in this country, they don't see that as a problem. Look at the quality BBN will be facing. Gabi, do they stand any chance? Look, football, yes, is unpredictable. Football at times want to tell its own beautiful story.
Yeah.
But I don't see this to be one of football beautiful stories.
Let's be honest. If they don't get their act together,
look, if they score 10, the people will score 12.
If they don't get their act together, it will be a bloodbath.
If they score 10 in Ghana, 10-0, when they go to wherever
Algeria,
they are going, they will score them 12. Look, they themselves, the level of inexperience in that team at this level will expose them.
They themselves, they don't believe in themselves.
They themselves, they don't believe in themselves. You know what the Algerians will do? They'll go and play the match under the cold weather in the night. I want to buy.
Oh, Charlie, do you know a certain coach like that?
Oh, of course, you know, my own. I don't work. I know the drip walker.
and not the drip
Nyankwa.
Walker.
He's my boss. But now,
Tell he had wrapped his neck, his ears.
No, you see, whatever we are saying there, our football needs proper orientation.
Yep, I agree
We
with you.
need proper structures. We cannot be losing players upon players and expect them to go and do well. They can't. It doesn't work like that. I don't want to sit. Look, Hasafo could do what they did because they could win the Ghanaian leagues 6 times on the trot. So it was now incumbent on them as a country who were demanding from them that you've shown your dominance here. Go to Africa and show your dominance. Am I lying?
Yep.
Go everywhere in the world. Until recently, where it became like UEFA said top 4 champions. Previously, when it was only the winner of the league who goes to the Champions League, you could clearly see that leagues, those who AC Milan could win the Champions League because they had Kaká and Co constantly going.
Sure. Proper experience.
So we should forget about it. Look, Karim Zito.
You mean it is a participation
I love
thing?
him so much. I like him so much because he tends to look. He's one of those coaches in Ghana who speak like a true coach.
Yeah. Mr. Tracking and getting free.
Yes, he
we'll
believes
track
in
them,
tactics.
get free.
But you
And
see,
then we sat up our several
Coach,
players.
you see, Zito, to be honest, if you ask me, I think that now he should leave the mainstream coaching. I think Zito has reached that point that he becomes now a tutor.
Like a technical director.
Yeah, because look,
See-
when I listen to him speak, right, and I mean, because we covered the stories every time, sometimes I feel he doesn't talk tactics enough for me. I don't know if you get a point I'm making.
To an extent.
And not just the tactics, he's making a point about something, but I feel he's not on point.
You know, let me just simplify this for you.
His thought
Look,
get this.
Zito is old school as far as Ghanaian coaches are concerned. So he doesn't depend solely on tactics. He wants some of it to be mental, some of it to be, you know, something I can't mention.
a blend
Then
of
tactics
almost
to
everything.
everything.
Is Zito not in the mode of Didi Dramani? Didi Dramani. Yeah, let me say these two coaches.
Look, I beg to differ to a
slightly
little.
different. Dramani, yes, but Zito, I think when it comes to being very practical on the job, I think he's one of the best we've got. Because just look at his recent works with Dreams FC, that ran in the CAF Cup. It was clear that this is a coach who understands that at times he need to shield his players. He need to draw all the attention to himself and allow the boys to go and do the job freely. And you need to be a smart coach to be able to do that.
More good man manager.
To be able to do that. And and you see, hardly would you see his team that exposed for tactics again. We saw Dreams FC in that run.
Yeah.
There were times where, especially in the quarterfinals, we all thought they'll get knocked out. But tactically, he showed that he was up to the task. But the point I'm making is that you see, if the players are not changing, and you have the same crop of players competing at the same level,
I agree with you on that point.
we'll do better. Look, I don't see how BBNE, look at how inexperienced they are.
We'll get past
But
Kabili.
They go into the tournament as what? Ghana champions.
Yeah.
That is why we need to look at the seriousness of the
Valid.
matter.
Let's just wrap it up. Let me just wrap it up with a few points. Look, I think that this situation we've been presented with is a wake-up call. What am I talking about? First of all, bad stadium maintenance has meant that Kotoko have abandoned their traditional home to come and play in Accra. Now, lack of adherence to club licensing rules have meant that BBNE Gold Stars cannot play at the dance park. Now, if you cannot play your games at the dance park during a continental game, it just goes to tell you that ideally you can't play your league games at dance park. That's literally what it means. You might say that CAF requires certain standards, but this is a premier competition. If your league is considered premier and Kabile are coming to town, you should be able to take a flight, take them to BBNE and go and play the game.
Beat them good.
That is what is happening. And if I'm not even saying you would have won the
We
game.
saw Brekum Chelsea. They took Raja to Brekum and gave them 5.
And you see, it's very
And,
funny.
and over time, the club licensing thing it is improved, and there have been new regulations, there have been new things that's been introduced, and these clubs are just now.
They will flout them. No,
Yeah.
because the club licensing managers will say they will start off by saying that if you don't do, then they will start making
See,
concessions, and then things go back to normal. Let's not even get into it. I think it will elongate the conversation.
Well, absolutely.
All I'm saying is that look, we should just get our act together. We need to use this as a wake-up call to improve our facilities and just be better with standards.
Look, the fact is that none of us here will be surprised if our teams don't progress.
No, me. I think I
will be surprised.
Look, let me. I don't want to be.
Kotoko will progress.
I don't think Kotoko
Kotoko
will
beat
be
Quirre United and progress.
I hope so. I hope so.
For the first round, Kotoko qualified.
After Quirre will be there.
I say
from
I
round
saw
one.
them against BYC. I saw them against Nuadibu. Those teams
were
are not. They
Yeah.
cannot lace Kotoko's
Same-
boots
same-
anywhere. But
the
that's
same
what it
mode
is.
as Quirre.
Let me move the discussion on. Let's talk about the World Athletics Championships because it's still ongoing. Now the biggest piece of news obviously is that Rose Yeboah is through to the finals. 23-year-old. She's battled with a lot of injuries, a lot of issues. Finally, she has been able to make it. Let me throw that to you real quick on Rose Yeboah, what you made of her semi-final berth, and then what you think she can do in the final.
Honestly, we shouldn't even be talking or discussing about Rose Yeboah qualifying to the finals because that's where she belongs. Actually, we should be talking about, okay, so anticipation. We are anticipating her getting a medal or getting onto the podium. But because of what has happened over the past year,
Or maybe making another national.
that's how come, yeah, more or less. That's how come we are discussing her path to the final.
Yeah.
Honestly, we shouldn't even be discussing her path to the final because of how talented she is and how she peaked in 2024. But unfortunately, she didn't get that needed push, and she went to the Olympics and she got frustrated. She didn't perform, and everything just went downhill from that point on. And so, her qualifying to the final, honestly, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise, but because of the circumstances that she had to deal with, that's how come it got a lot of people's attention that Rose Yeboah managed to qualify to the final. Honestly, it should be something that will be like
a matter of fact, like
okay, when is she going
business
to
as
win
usual,
the medal, more or less? And after she qualified, she spoke in an interview where she virtually confessed that I needed that. I needed it.
To prove what she's been doing.
I
over-
needed
over
it
there.
to be able to qualify to.
Mokoba wo microphone ne ka ton moko ka ka le $8,000.
It's okay.
No, we need to-
I'm coming to it.
Open for beeps, offer call.
We'll get there. I am coming. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Open for calls.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm coming there. I'm getting there. And you could tell that she was frustrated, and she had been frustrated for a while. And she said it. I needed it. And she becomes the first athlete to make it to the final in the World Athletics
individual,
Championship
Of an individual event.
of an individual event. The first ever Ghanaian to do so.
Ever.
The first ever Ghanaian ever to do so.
Keeps breaking
And
records.
so for me, I have the best of hope for her. And this time around, yes, I cited her coach in the stands. Last year at the Olympics, her coach wasn't there because some issues came up and Ghana couldn't get her coach to be by her side.
In
And
ability 8,000.
and it really affected her. And it really
her coach to be
Yeah, and it really affected her. But this time around, her coach was beside her. He was in the stands, and normally after every jump, they'll go through some session. He'll coach her up, and then she'll go for the another attempt. And so it was refreshing to see her manage to get to the final, and so that's a big plus. And this is straight. Tomorrow she's competing, and this was a straight call to the sports ministry.
Agree.
At this point,
now that she's made it, it happened when? Yesterday? Yes, it happened yesterday. By now, some money should have been hitting their account.
Quick.
By now, some money should have been hitting their account.
Quick.
Or some money should have hit their account by qualifying to the World Championship. Because think about it. They qualifying to the World Championship. It's just like Ghana qualifying to the World Cup.
Exactly. After qualification.
And according to Kofi Adams, I will not be a Black Stars minister.
So you get my point.
Yep.
So they qualifying to the World Athletics Championship. It's equivalent to Black Stars qualifying to the World Cup or Kotoko qualifying to the AFCON.
Yep.
That's what it means.
Yep.
You can say, okay, Olympics is the World Cup in athletics.
Yep.
Then the World Championship, let's say, will drop off to, let's say, the AFCON level.
Yeah.
Okay, they've qualified to the AFCON. Where's the money?
Yep.
Black Stars didn't qualify to the AFCON. But look at all the money that we spent. You get my point. I'm not saying that we should compare and put them on the same level.
We have to compare.
No.
We have to.
But at the end of the day, these are individuals.
And they are doing better than the teams.
Sports.
So we have to compare.
It's an individual sport.
The
so
Black Stars,
you
are wasting our
don't
money.
have to spend even a quarter of what you spend on the Black Stars.
$8,000 given to the kids.
The bib holder.
The bib holder. Cones, more cones.
Hey.
8,000 per month. Them 8,000. Eddie man roads.
Oh.
I'm trying to buy 6 months.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. You see, and the thing is,
Them bib holder. Bib holder na cone arranger.
you see, so the individual events we didn't do well, with the exception of Yeboah qualifying to the final.
Yeah.
Abdul Rashid Saminu got to the semi-final. He couldn't make it to the 100-meter final.
False start, right?
No. He finished, I think, set.
No, I'm like he had a rough beginning.
Yeah, rough beginning. Yeah. Then the 200 meters man, Ibrahim Husseini, he also couldn't qualify to the semi-finals. Yeah. Alex Amankwa, 800 meters, he couldn't qualify. Azamati, the same. Look, and I say, people were saying Azamati is washed. Look, I don't think he's washed. What I believe is that Azamati has used up all the passion.
I bet could behave over there.
No, he's not washed. I believe. Look, I've seen. Isaac Mukwala run for Botswana for several years. Yep. I've seen Akani Simbini run for South Africa for several years. He's 31 years old. Last year at the Olympic Games, he won. I believe it was a silver medal with South Africa, 4x100. I think it was a bronze, 4x100, and he's 31 years now. Back then he was 30 years old. Azamati is not even 30 years old. How can you tell me he's washed? He's not washed.
You're not buying it.
I'm not buying it. What I believe is that Azamati has used up every bit of that inner passion.
He's exhausted.
Whap him. Whap him.
You mean it is up to us
at this point? Push him.
Elevate his training, elevate his trainers.
Yes, push him. He's not even 30 years old. How can you tell me this guy is washed?
Tell him that.
I agree.
Azamati
and he's not suffered a critical injury that takes him down that end.
Azamati is never washed. He is not washed. The guy is not even 30 years old. Andre Degrassi is still running.
Yeah.
And you're telling me Azamati is washed? He is not washed. But he has used up.
Naturally, he has hit his limits.
He has used up every reserve. He has used up all the passion in his reserve to be able to get to this level. At some point, he needs some pushing. Yeah. At some point,
I agree.
You can't do it on your own.
I can't fancy.
You can't do it on your own. You need a bit of a push. You need some bit of a structure.
Yeah.
How is it that this guy is the one funding his own training? How is it at this point? No, and it's not like it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. That thing is just ignorance.
He's getting sponsorship for that thing.
He's getting sponsorship.
That's the little money he gets to help himself.
That's what is getting him by in terms of being able to afford a coach, a trainer, feeding and all that. It's Oakley. Oakley is sponsoring his eyewear. He's an ambassador for Oakley. Yeah. And so when people make those comments, I mean, it hurts my soul. People, please understand. He's an ambassador for Oakley. It's a sports eyewear company.
People say what? That he was wearing fancy glasses.
Spaceman. Spaceman. Actually, No.
Why are you saying this?
He's an ambassador for Oakley. Oakley is an eyewear company. Please, you can't say that. The little money he's getting from that deal, that is what is pushing him to this level. And that's what I mean by, look, the ministry should be able to put contingency measures in place, be able to attend to these things. Because at the end of the day, look, people say, oh, but why should you give them money? How many times have the Black Stars feel that we still give them money?
Look, as for the Black Stars, if they are
how many?
Those officials,
how many?
Officials, those who are organizers of press conferences, give the mic to Nketia, let him ask his question. Give the mic.
Just a quick one.
$8,000, $16,000 for 2 games.
Just a quick one before we go for a break. You see, I'm not saying that we should give them the same amount as we give to the Black Stars. I get it because of the way things work, the dynamics work in this country regarding the sports. But you cannot tell me that the kids officer of the Black Stars back in the day used to get $8,000 per game. Now it's been slashed to $4,000 per game. Per game.
It's too much money.
Too much money. Way too much money.
Abdul Rashid Saminu has broken the national record twice this year. He hasn't received any money. And you are telling me that you are comfortable with this. How can you tell me that you are not a sports minister, you are not a Black Stars minister, but you're a sports minister? But this thing continues. It's been happening from decades old.
And I haven't seen the ministry even acknowledge any of the efforts going on. I haven't seen them congratulate Rose Yeboah.
We said this last week. On the show on TV.
Look, you won't give them money.
No
but
statements.
You just at least give them some. Nothing.
It's pathetic. And for me, these World Championships have been great. Look at Botswana right now. The 400 meters men, they had two athletes finish first and third. Now you look at the likes of Nualaus. Okay, he won 4 gold medals.
Oh, I buy it.
But
why are you doing this?
Sika, Botswana guy, no, really, his image
on their money,
on their currency, the Madrid, for the he would die.
Your children
come and see everybody. Say who now country the Madrid who pay you can country.
But it's been competitive to the extent that even Tibogo, the 100 meters, he disappointed a little. He got disqualified for false starting. Then the 200 meters earlier today, he finished 4th. He finished 4th. There's a new kid on the block for Jamaica. Look, the 200 meters.
Is it level?
Brian Level, he's 21 years old. Look, the 200 meters is in good hands. Because beyond Nualaus, once Nualaus and Kenny Bednarek leave the scene, Level is there, Tibogo is there, and there's this new Australian sensation. He's 17 years old. He's originally from South Sudan, but because of the war and all, they moved over as refugees to Australia. He's called Gout. He's 17 years old. He made it to the semi-finals. He couldn't make it to the final. Look, you look out for that guy. But so far, the World Athletics Championship, they have over-delivered. Nualaus won his 4th consecutive gold medal. 4th gold medal in the 200 meters, and he's already looking at beating Usain Bolt's record, because that 4th gold medal matches Usain Bolt's record. And so he's already eyeing 2027 that he wins that and becomes the guy who is able to win 5 straight gold medals, and that has in a row, and that has never ever been done. And so it's been a wonderful competition. 2 more days left, and Ghana is not out yet. We still have the chance to win a medal through Rose Yeboah, and then through the men's 4x100 relay. And so with the relay, it's complicated. Baton.
They say they've been practicing, so we hope it's
so potentially
good.
We could end up winning a medal in that bit. So we are hoping for the best for Ghanaian athletes in Tokyo.
I like that. Let me just say something real quick before we need to take a break. I have liked what Duplantis has been doing. I was just reading some stuff about why he's performing so well. He says that he has a certain special pair of cleats called the claw. Now it's very interesting. So apparently there's a little hook on the front that allows him to take off. He says his running takeoff is basically his advantage over his opponent. He says he takes 20 steps, and when he's taking off, he's at just about 10.2 something seconds, while the average male is about at 9 point something. So he says that because of the claw, he basically has an advantage. And some of you be asking me, isn't that illegal? Well, the athletics world, all those things go through certain checks and balances. He says that the only reason why he doesn't use it all the time is because that hook at the tip has the potential to cut you. And so he only brings the claw out for when there's a world record to be broken. He says when there's a world record to be broken, then he will pull out his special cleats and then he will wear them. Charlie, this is where people have gotten to. Like they have gotten to a level where they have special shoes for doing things. Like they've scaled down.
We are talking about baton chain.
They have scaled down their art to a science where they are basically doing side quest at this point. Like that's what is basically happening with guys like Duplantis.
We have developed in giving conesmen
money. No, it's true. You need to say it. You need to say it. Look.
Just what makes what you said about Duplantis more interesting is that the next person even trying to break his own record to chase what Duplantis has done is even suffering.
I mean, Duplantis has broken the world record 13 times.
14?
He's broken it 13 times and he set a new record 14 times. And look, Oblique Seville, yes, shout out to Oblique Seville. 100 meters, he won the gold medal. And just like the 200 meters, Jamaica has a new generation of talents coming through. This is the first time a Jamaican man won the 100 meters since 2015, since Bolt did, which was crazy. And they did a gold and a silver double. So Oblique Seville won the 100, and Kishane Thompson finished in second place, and Noah Lyles finished in third place. So, yeah, wonderful stuff happening in Tokyo.
Show probably brought to us by Betway. Kofi Amosu, you need to be very careful on YouTube. He says Azamati solar eclipse. Be very careful over there, young man. Be very careful. Those Oakley glasses are expensive. What do you mean by Azamati solar eclipse? Let me take a break on the show. When I come back, I'll read your messages and then we'll get into some European football. Stay with us here on Sports Panorama. I'll be right back.
City 97.3. Accra.
Betway Rewards makes every bet count. Collect points with every bet and convert them to real cash, which you can then use to place more bets or withdraw as winnings whenever you want. The more you play, the more you earn. It's that simple. No hidden terms, no strings attached. Enjoy rewards that score you more with Betway. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. No under 18. Betway. Get way more.
City 97.3. Accra.
Welcome back. Sports Panorama. Benjamin Nketia here. Show proudly brought to us by Betway. Let's get into some few Champions League games that were played in midweek. The key games, of course. Let's touch on Chelsea versus Bayern to begin with. That was a good game. I don't know why Shining Brother One does not want to give us.
I do this analysis.
So hold on. So you see, Chelsea. It wasn't a Chelsea team, but the Chelsea fans. They say that since they won the Club Champions League, they are the big boys in town. They say, "Bring Barca's high line. We want to test the high line." And Bayern said, hold our beer.
And the big
met at the Allianz Arena. The best part is that apparently Bayern lit the Allianz Arena in blue, you know, to await Chelsea. Finished doing this for them, and then they said this is how it is in Europe. I saw a funny post on social media where somebody said, Bayern, you've got the first leg, you can't meet us at the bridge. And somebody said,
which bridge?
Guy, you've been out of the Champions League so long, you've forgotten that there are no second legs. This is a new format. It's done.
Which bridge again? It killed you for Allianz Arena. I finished.
3-1. You say that Bayern didn't do anything extraordinary. That scoreline looks extraordinary to me.
Look, I think everybody watched the game. Ben, the first goal, right? The first goal. No, before I even get to the goals, I just want to quickly touch on Maresca and Chelsea. I said two things to somebody last time that I think two very bad things will be Chelsea's undoing this season. One, which is the head coach Maresca. Two, Chelsea's defense. Let me start off with Chelsea's defense. Look, Chelsea have lost Levi Cole to an ACL injury. If he was there, I think the pairing would have been him and Trevor Chalobah. All right, and he's not there, so the head coach has decided to stick with that. What's his name? Fofana, who played in the EPL. Sometimes he goes with Trevor Chalobah and Tosin Adarabayo, coach's favorite friend. These two defenders, zero pace, can't catch up with anybody. Leave acres of space at the back, and then the coach too will go into a game. I don't know this obsession with playing Reece James in midfield. Maybe coach is here. He sees probably what we don't see. The obsession of playing Reece James in midfield, trying to invert him.
Yeah.
I think that if you want to invert any of the two right backs, it should be rather Malo Gusto and have Reece James playing at his right back position. I'm saying that Bayern did not play anything because I look at the 3 goals they scored. The first goal, all right, the first goal I think came from Conrad.
Explain Tayaba. I'm listening. I'm ready.
I'm listening to him. It came from. I'm coming. It came from. There was a low cross from Conrad Lima. Before the cross got to, I mean that goal was an own goal. Trevor Chalobah. Before.
Told me I will speak patois. You what I
English.
Go on.
Before Bayern got the first goal, you had Kukureya and Tosin there. What are they doing? Sleeping on the job. And then there's a tap in which I think ricochets off Chalobah. One goal. The second goal was what? A very useless tackle from Moises Caicedo. I say useless because the guy was overused in midfield. Enzo Fernandez was adding nothing extra to that midfield because you have Enzo playing closer to João Pedro as a 10, and you have Cole Palmer playing as on the right wing. Reece James, who is in the midfield, is unable to play against Bayern's midfield, which I think that Bayern's midfield were not even on that top level. But because of that advantage in midfield for Bayern, Reece James is unable to match it. So Bayern are just having a field day, going past Chelsea's midfield and making that Moises Caicedo overworked. And that's what resulted in the second penalty. The third one, who did it come from? Malo Gusto, playing again, sleeping on the job, gives a back pass. What's his name? Harry Kane uses Chalobah as a shield and then curls the ball into the net. Which are the chances? Which the 3 things I've mentioned? Which proper thing? Which proper chance did Bayern?
Do you know that your opponents force you into individual errors?
Yeah. I'm saying that's fair enough.
Of spaces.
Now, if the opponent force, it goes back to the coach not changing.
So your coach was not good on the day.
He was. What's that starting 11 for?
Fair enough. You've made your point. Let me move on to somebody else. Coach, talk to me about Real Madrid because I don't know. I'm not in your own words. They needed 2 penalties to beat Olympique Marseille at the Bernabeu, and I saw the game. Mason Greenwood was having a field day in that encounter. I'm not sure how they got away with the win.
We are as well.
Timothy Weah and Mason Greenwood, they had an absolute field day. Are you a little worried about how Xabi Alonso has started off? He's won almost all his games, but almost all his games have also been close wins. And Real Madrid have conceded quite a number of goals as well.
You see, he's a good coach. He will need time to get them to play convincingly. I was telling one of the Real Madrid supporter where I stayed that because he's won all his games so far, he thinks that it is working. It is actually working, but not in that convincing manner. He needs proper baptism. And I told him that Militao and those people at the back, when the Catalan people get hold of them, they will discipline them properly, and maybe that would allow Xabi Alonso to
sit up properly.
This team
the
is
Dean
not
Hoyson
what
boy
I-
from Bournemouth.
Charlie, he's not focused.
Hyperactive. Super hyper.
It's all red card, eh?
Real Madrid
It's already been sent off like twice already.
twice already. That is not coming. And then, you see, over reliance on Kylian Mbappe now to be the only one scoring the goals. It's a big problem. I think one of the reasons why they are struggling is because I don't know what Xavi Alonso thinks about other goals. Other goals should be played in the number 10 role, advance in front of Tchouameni and Valverde. But if Goulet is dropping off and he's been required to not only be that creator but to also hustle and battle and win, that is not within his DNA. And the players
He was responsible for the first goal in that game.
Yes.
He was trying to track back or whatever, he's sleeping on the job,
and then
robbed off the ball, and then they went to
that's
score.
not him. And the big teams will look at that and they will highlight that and they will always want to expose that. But of course, it's Real Madrid. They always find a way of winning against teams like Marcel and those guys. But if their true matchup shows up, all these things will be.
I even think they lost the game. That penalty, was it really a penalty?
I don't think that was a penalty. I just don't think that was a penalty. But at times you look at the referee decisions in the Champions League.
Yeah.
When it comes to VAR, it's like they are operating on a different law, or the rules they are operating with are completely different. The Real have won. But no more, let me just say something on Chelsea. You see,
Your good friends.
when you think you are there and somebody brings you back to your true level, you tend to do what Gabi just did. Trying to find fault. Oh, we did this before they did that.
Speaking
We did this
plenty
before they-
English.
Had we not
Don't
done
know
it,
if
we
you are-
wouldn't have done that.
If
Who
we are-
forced you to do what you didn't want to do? That is the question. Who forced you to do what you didn't want to do? You've forgotten about the save that your goalkeeper made? On the day, it should have been 6. Yeah, Yeboah. I think what Tom 6. They should have been given like 6. Don't get me wrong. They are a big team.
Yeah.
See, when you go to the World Class Championship and you win in a deserving manner, don't see yourself to be. Look, teams like Bayern Munich, teams like Barcelona, teams like Real Madrid, on their day, on proper Champions League night, they are capable of beating anybody. Chelsea on their day can do same.
Yeah.
I think tactically, there was nothing wrong with what Maresca did. He played this same system against what? PSG in the World Club Championship. They won.
But not Rhys James inverted.
Rhys James was in midfield in that game. He was in midfield in the game that you
As
won.
part of the double pivot.
Malo Gusto was the one roaming on the right and supplying the ball. So it's something that he has done and has worked. So this is not the time to be crying that why James? When James played, you won in midfield, you were happy.
Thank you.
That we all watched that game against PSG. That was the same thing he decided to do. But at the end of the day, you went to the Allianz Arena. What was the respect shown to Bayern Munich? Did you go there as world champion, look at Bayern Munich and saw them to be any of those Nyaka Pimps and Nyaka Pumps?
Nyaka what?
Nyaka Pimps and Nyaka Pumps.
Oh my goodness.
A Bayern Munich team? Look, there's no second leg. Bayern have finished with you. So the one who say
Hope that you make it out of the group,
they say
out of the
Barcelona-
table.
Barcelona should bring their high line. Next match is against Jose Mourinho Benfica. The last time Jose Mourinho brought a Champions League team to Stamford Bridge, we all knew the result. Mourinho will come. When he finished, then the people too from Catalan will come. Beat them and let's see. Chelsea have got. I think they will still make it out of those teams to qualify to the next stage. But there was no way. You see, Bayern, they've got issues with Chelsea. You remember? Because of that trophy that Chelsea won of them at the Allianz Arena.
They've not recovered.
The Didier Drogba.
No, but anytime they beat Chelsea,
2012.
there's always going to be that grudge there. But on the day, look, take it or leave it, the better team won.
Yeah.
The better team by far won the game. So you can explain and explain and explain. Yes, Band didn't do anything. They didn't do anything.
And they beat you 3.
And when they do anything, get 12.
let's transition the conversation because there are huge games in the Premier League. I want us to zone in on those games. Let's begin with
Manchester United.
No, you don't do that. We talk about the teams that are doing well first. Not the teams that cannot win back-to-back matches. You can't win back. Boss, your manager has been in charge 8 months. He can't win back-to-back matches. In that time, do you know the things you have done back-to-back?
There's a reason. On Sunday,
don't do this.
On Sunday, Coach Christopher Nimley did what Gabi is doing today.
Don't do this.
He was forcing to put the blame on
I'll call security to come and throw you out to the studio. Let's start off with the Merseyside derby. 2 things. Liverpool are all over the place defensively. They've needed 4 late game winners. 3 in the league, 1 in the Champions League. If you've watched Liverpool games, they are not controlling games. They are getting by. Does this worry you? They have a date against Everton and David Moyes, who has also not won in 22 attempts at Anfield, with Everton phase 1, with United.
Is it Dickinson Stadium?
Yeah, Anfield. So this game is at Anfield. So David Moyes tried Everton phase 1, never won at Anfield. Went to United, never won. Went to West Ham, never won. Now he's back to Everton phase 2, still looking for his first win at Anfield.
I think it will be extended by another game because I don't see Liverpool losing this game, and I don't think anyone should be worried about how Liverpool have gone by at the start of the season. Because at the end of the day, you brought in quite a number of new players in very critical positions. And so meshing them all together, it will definitely come with some lumps along the way. And on top of that, you have this situation where it's the start of the season. And so, you have your issues when it comes to being able to replicate the kind of form that you had the previous season. And it's not as if Liverpool had a terrific end to the end of the last campaign. They kind of got by.
They stumbled through.
They kind of got by. And so, you are seeing virtually the same thing. But that's the beauty of being a good team, in the sense that you don't want to lose form at the worst time. If you want to play bad in the season, this is the time to play bad in the season. And they have been bad, particularly defensively. But at the end of the day, even in the midst of being bad, they are still winning. They haven't lost. And so, for me, I don't have an issue with this. And I don't see Everton beating them.
You see, Everton may not beat them. But they are playing in a way that requires that they will have to win games.
3-4 goals.
This was a problem that needed to be solved. This Liverpool team should be eyeing to win the Champions League. If you are going to keep such defensive way against proper team,
but coach, it's early in the season.
It's early in the season. With the defending change, they needed the personnel to come and improve them. They needed the boy from Crystal Palace, that guy, to come and improve them. If we are going to see these same lads playing the same way,
so you are saying it's a personal thing, not a system thing?
No, it's a personal thing. Because at the end of the day, look, VVD is good, but take it or leave it. He's not a VVD of 2-3 seasons ago.
Konate is wobbling.
His mind is shift. He thinks he's going to Real Madrid next season.
I don't want to hear
so
that.
So he's not focused on the job. Who is Konate's replacement?
Leon
Gomez. Error prone. So Liverpool themselves knew. Look at the way they dilly-dally on this move. I was shocked they didn't treat the Magay move the way they treated the Isaac move, or the way they treated the Ekitike move. If I was the technical director or director of football there, that would have been one of our major moves.
They were trying to get him for almost free.
That is unacceptable.
But I think that is also down to the form of McAllister and Ryan Graffenberg. I think they haven't started the season well, and so the cover or the coverage for the defensive lapses hasn't been there.
Too open.
It hasn't been there. They can't control anything, and so I think that also has played a major role in Liverpool struggling earlier on in the season. But like I said, if you want to drop a wobbly game or wobbly games, this is the time you need to drop it. And fortunately for Liverpool, they've dropped those wobbly games, and they've still not lost. And so I don't see.
I can agree with you next to an extent because they've played complicated games this season.
Out of stupidity, That was what made them win that.
But at the end of the day, someone attempted a cross and hit the arm
at
of.
The, end of the day, the arm was put in a very stupid position.
Yeah, Hannibal.
You understand?
Fair game. Let me read a few messages. Then we'll talk about 2 other matches. So this one says, guys, Rose isn't the first ever Ghanaian to get to the finals of an individual event. Ignatius Geza in triple jump and the lady in heptathlon in 205.
Ignatius Geza has now switched to Netherlands. So how is he Ghanaian?
Yeah, he's not Ghanaian anymore. Yeah, this one says, allow coach to speak the truth. Passing microphone, Keke, 8,000 USD. Greetings to coach, Divine from Ho. This one here says, I think the inexperience of this Chelsea team, including their coach, showed on Wednesday night. They are a good team and should learn from some if this game. Hope my United turn up tomorrow, even though Chelsea haven't won at Old Trafford in a long time. But there's always a first time. Wishing Amorim and the boys good luck. Luck doesn't play football, fam. Anyway, this one says, hi, Panorama team. Mustafa from Nungwa. I want to ask coach how far, and all my United fans should not worry. Chelsea will do them a favor tomorrow to get rid of your coach by beating you by 4-1. Here says that Simba, this is Simba Club of Tanzania having their Simba Day. Both Simba and Yanga have a day each set aside to outdoor new players, have a friendly and also interact with fans. This is followed by their community show. Football here in Tanzania is massive. One time I had to wait for a local game to end before the hotel or restaurant could change the channel to the EPL. That's a team. That's a country that's serious about their football. This one says, I just finished watching Midiama versus Vision, and I can say we have a lot of Pedris and Vitinhas in the local league. I'll read this message again. He said, I really enjoyed the match and coverage today. Still room for improvement. Wishing Yeboah all the best. There are a lot of Pedris and Vitinhas in our league.
It's true.
Let me just move on. I'll get
in the Ghana Premier League.
Walk you out of the studio. Don't
in the Ghana Premier League.
Let me go on.
Now Pedri ball up on every plan.
Coach, don't give this attention.
Today's Friday.
This one says, good evening guys. Kobe Baden from Danzoma says, very sad and disappointing watching the World Athletics. And a country called Ghana has just a limited number of athletes participating. We are not interested in athletes.
We have 8.
The government on the day has so much on its shoulders, but sports comes with employment if we pay attention to it. Okay. This one says that the best place to be on Friday nights is Sports Panorama. Listening from Dodoa. Shout out to Coach aka Nee Dickinson from Frank. Charlie. This one is from Prince Christopher. He says, can't imagine a Friday night without the most sumptuous and exciting show in the capital. Exciting weekend ahead. We all pray for a win or draw for Man City, win for United, and mind you, Merseyside derby has always been red. Patozi from New Market La Paz says, I was expecting the rabbi to pray for JS Kabile after carrying their own pillows. May they continue to sleep for the entire 90 minutes. According to Yeboah about amen. Need touch of October Newtown says the sports ministry should focus on other sports. They over rely on football. Other athletes need a fraction of football's budget. I agree. This one here says, welcome back, Ben. You were missed. Please tell Coach Nimley to say a word of prayer for our darling Man United. Let me get into that Man United Chelsea game because it is sumptuous. Let me take. I know where to take it from. Let me start from Shining Brother 2, and I'll come along this way. Gabi, 12 trips to Old Trafford. The last 12 trips have all been barren for Chelsea. Why should Maresca or any Chelsea fan believe that Chelsea can do something this weekend?
I think it's a difficult time. Who's playing home? Chelsea?
Old Trafford. Man United playing at home. Your last 12 trips. Should we give you water?
I'm cool. I think it's a difficult one for Chelsea. I say a difficult one because they're coming up against a side that have not had the best of start this season in Manchester United. United would want to get a response. And I think these are the games that you find United showing up. If you want to look at that performance against Arsenal, even though they lost, and the record says it with against Chelsea, I find it very difficult for Chelsea to go against United and say they are going to win. Why? Because of one of the messages you read and my initial submission about Maresca sometimes overthinking decisions and overthinking who to start or who to play where. You get it. Against a United team in Amorim, who I think that is very stubborn and has stuck with his 3-4-3 favorite formation. Maybe the personnel wise will change.
Yeah.
But on the part of Maresca, you can't actually tell what kind of team he'll put up. So I think in a way it plays into the hands of United more for me, if you ask me. And I'd want to see United responding. Look, I don't think they can afford to go on another game again losing in the league.
Yeah.
That would be very, very damning on Ruben Amorim. I think on Wednesday or Tuesday or so, I read that they've given him a 2-game ultimatum or something like that. So I don't know whether it's true or not.
That people are making money.
Yeah, but I think that he'll need to start winning games to change the narrative of what has been what people think that will be a repetition of what happened last season. So that's a big text.
Let me read a few facts for you before I go on. So this one says United, like I said, are unbeaten in their last 12 PL home games against Chelsea. Won 5, drawn 7. Since a 1-0 defeat in May 2013.
Yeah, and you see, from May 2013 to now, a large chunk of the wins that United have chalked against Chelsea, United were in a very bad spot.
Listen, and they say that Chelsea's win rate of 18% at Old Trafford in the league is their lowest away to any side they have visited 10 times in the competition. So they don't travel well to Old Trafford at all. Now they also say that after their 1-0 win in May, Chelsea are looking for successive league victories over United for the first time since winning 3 in a row from November 2009 to March 2011. Those were under Carlo Ancelotti.
And Ben, to finish up, for Chelsea, I think this will be one of their biggest tests this season in the PL. United have already dealt with Arsenal. They've already played Manchester City. Chelsea have been dealing with Fulham. They struggled. Brentford took a 2-goal lead, allowed Brentford to come back in. This would be Chelsea's biggest test. And for them, they think that
this is an opportunity to lift themselves out of
and to even do better than what they did last season. Maybe get into a second place or a third place. So if you want to give your other competitors something to think about, I think United is that perfect case for you to go in at Old Trafford and change that narrative of United always brushing your side and picking up the 3 points in those moments when United haven't been great at all.
I have 5 minutes to go. I have to rush to 2 games. Abeku,
let me just 1 minute.
Yes,
Look, are these players respecters of records that this club has set in the past? That's a big question for them to answer. Again, I feel the coach is just super stubborn. I don't have a problem with his system. My problem is with the personnel. Why are you still playing Luke Shaw? There's a guy that played under what's the name of that coach? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, David Moyes, LVG.
Manchester City have moved on from Kyle Walker.
What's happening?
And Kyle Walker was always better than Luke Shaw anyway.
Faith in Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And on top of it, you put Bruno in the number 8 position. What's happening at Manchester United?
So you have lost faith in Amorim?
Never.
Okay, I was just checking because you were one of his you were one of his biggest fans. So give me a prediction for this game.
Now for United is winning by a goal to 0.
Yao. Snap thoughts and then prediction on that game.
Yeah, I think United will win it. It won't be easy for United because I look at Chelsea in recent games. They've been showing lapses in critical moments. For instance, you look at that game against Fulham, for instance. They should have lost because that first goal that Fulham scored that got disallowed. It was a legit goal. The referees came out, they apologized.
The one that they stepped on Chalobah's whatever.
Yeah. It was a funny decision because where was he supposed to plant his foot? In the air? That was a funny decision. But that aside, you look at Brentford, that game against Brentford, with virtually the last kick of the game, they miss out on bagging a win. Fabio Carvalho comes in and he scores and they end up drawing. Then you look at that Bayern Munich game, for instance. They look like they were about to get back into the game and equalize and get that second goal and pretty much tie the game. Then all of a sudden, that terrible back pass comes in, a goal is scored and more or less kills off the game. And Maresca reflected on that bad pass. And so for me, I've seen multiple games where they've dropped their guard in critical moments. And I see Man United being able to score from one of those opportunities. At least Man United, their midfield is terrible. It's still not in good shape. But offensively, they've taken the most shots in the Premier League up to this point in the season. Yes, it's just the conversion rate that is still not on point. And I think, they can convert one or two of those chances that will come out from slips from Chelsea. So Man United slight win over Chelsea.
Coach?
I think two things. There's Egbegu. United, I don't remember the last time United lost 2 big games.
Back to back.
I don't remember. You don't want to play United, especially at Old Trafford, when they are just coming from losing a big game.
Yep. To their rivals.
If United were to lose, Chelsea will have to play one of their best ever games. Because there will definitely be a response.
I agree.
There will definitely be a response.
United are always hot for these type of games.
They will be ready. And I listened to Amorim today. Look, Matthias Cunha is back and he's not hit the mark yet. I think this is the game where he's going to hit the mark.
Debut goal Cunha.
It will happen. No 2 ways. It will happen. I think there has to be a decision on the goalkeeping department.
You guys have signed Samens,
but
so you are fine.
Not good enough.
I think
They signed Samens.
They've
They've signed Samens. Yes, they've signed Samens. But haven't you signed Samens? You had a chance to sign Donnarumma. You had a chance to sign Martinez, but you decided to sign Atamensa. Meanwhile, Atamensa too, he's the CEO of this company. You have signed Samens. Yo.
What I'm saying is that I think Samens.
Sorry, Lamens. Sorry,
Lawmans. He plays.
You mean Lawmans?
Lawmans.
That's the Belgian pronunciation. Thank you, my brother.
He plays. I think all that Ruben needs to do. Look, I agree it is not a system. It cannot, because the XG, everything tells you that it cannot be the system. It's the individual errors that is still causing this thing. The media have shown that when things don't go well for you, that's where they make their most money.
Facts.
That is where they make their most money. So they don't want the narrative to change.
Yep.
We've got nothing to tell them. But we'll tell them that whether they like it or not, the narrative will change. Amorim is not going to be sacked today. He's not going to be sacked tomorrow.
Is that a threat?
No, but so I mean,
that sounds like a threat to United fans.
No, it's a long-term project. It's a long-term project. This is the first season.
Yep.
Last season was a try and error season. This is the first season of Amorim.
I mean, Jim cancelled his meeting to go talk to him.
You understand? So at the end of the day, let's see how it goes. Look, Mbeumo is hurting. Matthias Cunha is hurting. Bruno Fernandes is hurting. Everybody's nothing is hurting. Come on. This manager, if you listen to the players, per his training regime, what it takes them through, they themselves don't understand why things are not going the way they should go. And you don't want to be in front of United at Old Trafford tomorrow under the flat light, over 80,000 people. Yes, Chelsea will not be faced by the crowd. They will be ready for them. It's Adair Rubio at the back, isn't it?
Tosin, your good friend.
A buzzer. Tomorrow is wasteful buzzer.
Let me finish with you. There's a big game at the Emirates as well. It's Arsenal hosting Manchester City. Now, Manchester City have lost their last 2 trips to the Emirates. Now, let me read a few facts before you go. Arsenal have won 2 of their last 4 league meetings with City and drawn 2. Now, as many as their last previous 22 beforehand. Man City have lost both of their last 2, like I mentioned. Arsenal have won their last 3 Premier League home games by an aggregate score of 9-0. They last won 4 in a row without conceding in December 2021. Now, this is the more interesting stat. City have lost 5 of their last 7 Premier League games immediately following a European game in midweek. They have lost 5 of 7.
And I hear them
immediately following a European game in midweek.
I heard them complain they played on Thursday.
Yep.
Arsenal played on Wednesday.
They are back at it again.
They are back at it again away from home. Look, truth be told, this Man City team, they won't put fear in anybody. Look,
you keep saying it.
I watched the game against United last week. Luke Shaw had a terrible game. I agree. You force your opponent into making mistakes. But this Man City team, maybe they've gone in for a goalkeeper that will bail them out most often than none. But against Arsenal at the Emirates, this is a game, if you're an Arsenal, looking at the current state of Manchester City, and you want to challenge for the title, this is a game you should be winning. because this Man City team, they are not at their peak yet.
Yeah.
If you want to play them, this is the time to play them. You play them and beat them this early, open the gap and get them to be playing catch up. Arsenal, I believe, have got the players to do so.
They do.
Defensively, they are solid. In every department, they are quicker. There's the lack of pace. We saw them last week against Man United, where they had to now play a low block. Maybe Pedro will revise his note and get his team to play a low block. Because if they go toe to toe with Arsenal like the way we've seen them do over the years, there's only going to be one winner. And look, no matter how tight it goes, I expect Arsenal to win. Yes.
Well, that's the show. Show proudly brought to us by Betway. Now, Betway is stepping things up by giving fans even more back with Betway rewards. They say all you need to do is bet on sports or casino, and you will earn points that can be converted into cash. It's really that easy. The best part is that you can convert whenever you want and can withdraw the funds or even use them to place new bets. No strings attached. So start enjoying a whole new way to get rewarded with Betway, only on betway.com.gh. So we have the Republic of Football coming up tomorrow and Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. I'll be here to take you through all the updates, analysis, backstories, and all of that. Let's do some shout outs before we go.
Coach, you starting or you start?
No, you start. I have a marriage thing to talk about.
Okay. So a few shouts though. First one to a very, very close person. Her name is
Kasabem. I don't know Kasabem.
My friend, open your mouth and speak. Be bold and speak, my friend. Enter action with boldness.
Okay, so today is her birthday. Today is her birthday. Her name is Mrs. Faustina Enim. She's a very, very close.
I know. I don't even believe him. You're like, I don't believe him.
Oh, why?
What's her name?
Mrs. Faustina Enim Boateng.
Okay.
Yeah, today is her birthday, so
You this guy.
just want to use this opportunity to wish a very happy birthday.
Is that the only shout you got?
I want to my two guys, Dominic Gucci Mane and Daniel Payday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
They will get it. I'm very good.
Shout out to Bia.
Charlie.
It's okay.
Charlie,
But
the basket people, you won't give them shout outs. The food basket people. Hey, every day that you receive food baskets out of the blue. Anyway.
Big shouts to Dr. Erico Pokuentry, the bankroller of Spintex Nights. And big shouts to our folks celebrating their birthdays in-house. Yeah, Chris Carter.
Oh, Chris Carter.
Yeah, Chris Carter.
Happy birthday, Chris.
Yeah, happy birthday to you.
And also,
big Dorothy.
Dorothy celebrating her birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Dorothy, as well.
Big shouts to Dorothy and Chris Carter. Chris Carter, yeah. That's our home girl.
Yeah,
basketball
Charlie,
lady.
I saw Chris Carter last year at the Business Olympics. She was doing a little, I don't know if it was a scrimmage basketball.
Yeah.
At least she pulled off some post move. I'm like,
Yeah. She got it. She got it. Yeah. Big shouts to Chris.
You've
Big
done a
shouts to
few
Chris
things.
Carter.
Coach.
Bosu, God willing, tomorrow
Yeah.
is going to be a very special day in the life of my family.
Oh, special.
Yeah, very, very special day, because somebody very special to me and to the entire family is getting married tomorrow. He's my brother, the one I consider to be the one who follows me.
Nice one.
My mom directly follows his mom, so he's my direct cousin.
Oh, okay.
And I thank God for his life. He's William Yeboah Amu.
Oh, nice.
Tomorrow,
William Yeboah Amu.
Yes. Tomorrow he gets married to Elizabeth Asamoah
Nice one.
at the Church of Pentecost, Mount Zion.
Yeah.
The one at the Dependable around the estate, Medina. To my brother, I'm telling him that I'm so proud of him.
Nice one.
To the Samuel's family, to Elizabeth's dad, her mom, her lovely sisters, Safwa, Tilly, Jello, her brothers, Kofi, Enoch, Osofo. God bless all of you. God bless you. We are so grateful for the opportunity to tie this knot as one family. A process that started, that will be continued tomorrow, And by the grace of God, it will be finished on Sunday, where the two families, the Amon's families and the Samuel's family, will come together in one accord and will give thanksgiving to the Lord. Elizabeth, you are welcome into our family.
Thank you.
By the grace of God, we'll take care of you, we'll honor you, we'll respect you, we'll take you beyond measure. God in his own wisdom will make way for his godly principles and his wishes to be done. Happy marriage ceremony tomorrow. I'll be there. No fear no me in Dumojalame. My brother, Mr. Paul Baja, Soa, and the lovely family. All of you, start beg. Mo fear mo ke yawo me. Ni no ni wo jenshi yo wa den che ka wa agbena. Ya Yesu ba me.
Amen.
Go and get your wife and marry in Jesus'
Oh,
name.
Charlie.
Amen.
Nice one. And that's the show from us tonight. Probably brought to us by Betway. Republic of Football will be live tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Big shout outs to a couple of my YouTube people before I go. Daniel Ohene Mensa, I have seen you. Right? Shout outs to you. Omar the Poet. Sweet Kwame. El Cid. Josiah Aye. Mate Pasante. Joshua Holotu. Yeah, shout outs to you guys for making the show lively as always. I am Benjamin Nketia, head coach Christopher Nimley, Yahweh Jaming Ta, Bernard Abeku and Gabi Ofair, studio hands from Desmond Nyako. Thank you very much for doing the listening. Show will be live or will be up on City Sports GH on YouTube, just in case you missed it. Tomorrow we have more sports for you on all our platforms, so do tune in. Until then, keep your dial right here, keep listening.
City 97.3 Accra.